All righty then. Welcome to today's call, everybody. It is Friday, April 30th of 2021. Time flies when you're having fun. This is the TRC sales training call, and excited to do it as always. Got a big crowd early here too, and I know some of you have been diligent in sending me stuff. Want to welcome in Josh Gartenbaum, new to the mastermind group, who was kind enough to send me some calls that are outbound, really high volume cold calling stuff to review. I really wanted to listen to something a little bit different here to kick this off today. I also want to celebrate a success before I do that. Ann Shaw, who comes in here every single week and gets herself very involved, has collected her first check as a telemarketer and has another one in the pipeline already. So a lot of you were diving over her body as if she needed protection from me, which cracks me up because she didn't need it and didn't want it. I don't think. I'll speak for her. And that's how you collect checks. You get better as fast as you can. And so bravo to Ann for being student number one, 5 gold stars. And that's how you do it. You accelerate your success by coming in here, giving me something to work with. Theoretical training is fine and it belongs there, but ultimately, you really do need to be listening to real calls so that we can make real adjustments so that next week or the next day you can get after it. Okay, so bravo to Ann. Catch her doing something right. Love it. All right, Josh, you'll have to unmute the mic, bud. I muted everybody up here, so if you can unmute, that'd be great.
Sure.
Hey, bud, how you doing?
Hey, good.
Awesome. Let me just check on a couple things here before I listen so I make sure I'm good to go. Thank you for doing this. Appreciate you taking the time to do it. And I think, like I said, I'm very excited. By the way, you had a good sales question that I wanted to hold until today. What do you do when you're sitting in a listing presentation and you know you shouldn't be there? If I'm physically there, I've been known to get up and walk out. So that's what I would tell you. I can think of one very particular listing presentation I was in. He wouldn't listen to a word I said. And after having some patience and, he said, how are you going to get me this number? And I said, well, I'm not. And I said, I'm not right for you. I have no evidence to support that I can get that number with my system. So I'm going to take a pass. And he was just stunned because he was just so obnoxious. And I know him. And I just said, I wish you the best of luck with this, but we're not a good fit. And I left. So I've been known to do that, especially because as time's gone on, as you and I talked about, I feel really strongly about avatar. You can have the greatest system in the world and you can plug in the exact wrong person, and it can be very difficult to navigate. And so, I think there are times where we have to serve and we have to go beyond. I'm not looking for everything to be, super easy. I'm not saying, I want us all to become the next shrinking violet every time something feels tough. That's not how we get better. But you know the difference. You know when, and again, the big thing on the table for you and what we'll listen to is, that nobody really knows why somebody's about to move, and then they don't qualify, the real level of specificity 1 through 10. If we don't know those answers to those questions, we kind of go into these things guessing, and it's really problematic, right? So I hope that helps answer your question. Did that happen to you just the other day?
Actually, twice this week.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I think, again, a lot of that's going to get itself solved when we start to really listen to these calls and we tighten that piece of it up, right? I think some of that will get solved like this. But the other ones, it's okay to say, it's not for me, right? Be of service. We always want to leave them better off than we found them, but exit gracefully is what I would say. Because you, especially with the high volume that you're doing of these presentations, that's a whole, whatever it takes you. I mean, 45 minutes, an hour. I don't know how long it would take you on the Zoom calls, but that's a long time to waste when you know early you shouldn't be there, right?
Yeah, last night it was 90 minutes.
Yeah.
From minute 5, I was like, how do I get out of here?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. And why, by the way? Let's just take this because I love the, for sales call, this kind of conversation. Tell me why.
Oh, it was kind of similar to your story. He didn't have a number, but he sent me this list of like 35 questions before the interview. Asinine things. It didn't really matter at all. And
right.
he wouldn't answer any of my questions. In the beginning, we have questions to make sure I understand the situation, and he just refused to answer any question. I'm like, this is just not someone I even want to be dealing with right now.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I get out of here?
Yeah, I think in my case, I would say, look, what I've come to learn in my career is that this is a team, and I'm not quite getting my questions answered, and you have a whole bunch that aren't relevant to my system. I just don't think we're a good fit, and I'd rather save your time and my time right now. Period.
Should have said that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, and again, because we're doing it graciously, but we're saying like we shouldn't be dating. I mean, it's just not a good fit, right? Why finish the date? There's no need for it. You need somebody who's going to answer all of your questions and do what you want. That's not the way I work. I bring a system in. We do it very specifically. This is the way we go down. If I can't get answers to my questions, my system can't be successful. Therefore, my system can't serve you. That would be a little bit of a deeper way to say it too. Something like that. Yeah.
Love it.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Yeah, you bet.
Hey, Josh,
Go ahead, Lee.
can you give us a couple examples of questions he wanted to hear from you, and then a couple questions that he wouldn't answer of yours and why?
Yeah. So here we go. Oh my God, there's so many of them. So let's see here.
Was this a new seller lead, or is this expired, or?
No, this is actually a seller lead that I trashed. I was like, after talking with him, I'm like, I don't want to deal with this dude. And then he kept calling me and to schedule the appointment. And I'm like, oh God, like I should just do it. You miss all the shots you don't take, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then he sent me this. It's all nice and outlined. He's a scientist, guys. He's a high C.
Yeah.
He said, tell me about your experience. Help me understand your knowledge of the local market, my kind of property, what's sold in this area for the last 3 months, what price, how long, what do you see as a future sales outlook? Is this the best time to sell? Give me a detailed description of everything you plan to do to market this property. Tell me about your digital presence online. Let's talk about sample web listings. That's only the first 3 of 30 questions.
Yeah.
So I don't need to go on, but that would take me hours to fill out, and it would not serve him at all. It's just like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't. I just ignored it. And then when I was there, he was like, "You didn't answer a single one of my questions." I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, we're out of here.
Good. All right, let's get into these calls. Here we go. So we're going to start. I asked Josh to send me 2 bad ones and 2 good ones. Okay. So we're going to crescendo up to the good stuff. Here we go.
Hi, Alan.
Yeah.
Hi, Alan. My name is Levi. I'm on a local real estate team, and I was calling to see if you might be thinking of selling your house.
I've had people calling about this before.
Oh yeah, right, sir. So, do you have plans of moving ever?
Yeah, probably not this year.
Okay, not this year. I see. And where are you planning on moving to?
Out of Oregon.
Okay, out of Oregon, of course. Out of state. All right. And when would you like to move? Is that something like a year or 2 from now?
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of things I have to deal with that I'm not going to go into on the telephone.
Okay, I totally understand. Okay, well, it sounds like you do have a plan to move, but not for a little while yet. It's undecided yet. I'll go ahead and let my team leader know and can check in with you when you're closer to being ready. Can we follow up with you a year from now?
Oh, I guess we'll try.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for your time. I hope you have a nice day, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So give me your thoughts on it. I mean, you've labeled it a worst call. So you tell me, give me your thoughts listening to it.
Well, in full disclosure, that's the first time I've heard it. Okay. I had my lead ISA gather these for me.
Great. Awesome.
He's done a bunch of stuff wrong, and I'm going to make sure that stuff gets fixed. But,
yep.
My first thoughts is that it's, like someone just commented, the tonality is wrong. And that's the first thing we work on is cadence and tonality. And that was way out of whack. And he didn't actually really listen and give back the information that the guy said. It was just too boilerplate. So there wasn't a lot of emotion and connection there.
Yeah. He sounds very robotic, right? I mean, very robotic. He sounds like I said, and again, I know we talked about this, and Maxie and Russell are my superstars in the Philippines, and how they've come to really, just, it feels like they're down the street, right? He sounds not like he's not only not down the street, he sounds like he is extremely, almost like a machine is spitting out these answers in there, and it's not engaging, right? I mean, so, but I think what's incredible about this, I think what's amazing to me, is that he even gets the guy talking to reveal that, I might move. And then he says, hey, a lot of people have called me. That made me curious. I started to think, well, why? Why did other people call him? Are people just randomly calling him, or was there a reason why they called him? Had he ever tried to sell it before? There's just so much there that it's so hard to get somebody on the phone. And this is what I was saying to you. You can see very clearly, like, we believe that we are deeply training. That's what we all believe. We give a script and we deeply train. But Ann, as an example, and I know you're just sort of jumping into the mastermind and on these types of calls, but if you could have seen Ann's evolution, Ann is a pro, telemarketer, as a car dealership, but there was a lot of learning to be done here in the way that we do something. And by the way, your timing is perfect. As you start to assimilate into the mastermind, we started talking about, and I'll bring it up on the screen here for the internal part of the call. We have a script for circle prospecting, and we have things that they can talk about to be relevant. This was really amazingly abrupt to me, right? And so again, maybe because you're calling in the Northwest, there's more forgiveness. He'd get smoked saying something like that in the East Coast, right? He'd just get hung up on, because it's just so abrupt and so through the door, and there's really nothing in it for the person on the other side. So my first gut reaction is, yes, of course, the obvious stuff, the tonality. Yes, of course, obviously, I can tell. It's like, listening to these calls, it's like you almost get a pit in your stomach. I thought we trained better than this, right? Would you agree? is that what I heard? Right? Yeah, that's natural. So good for you for being here and taking the pain. But that's how it gets better quickly. But I think structurally, I'm going to show the screen so you guys can see it internally on the internal part of the call, meaning the coaching group. I'm going to bring this up as I got it ready here. I want you all to understand that it's the context of the person, that when we know it, like an expired or something, that's great. But when we don't know it, like circle prospecting or farming, which is essentially, we can call what you're doing 15 different things, but we're randomly cold calling into an area, just trying to identify anybody who might be looking to sell. And of course, if we're trying to build a good database of prospects who are going to do it, we've got to put some parameters on that, right? This outbound call team has to have a parameter whereby they're able to push this on, whether it's to the manager, the nurturer, or just their own list. I created a prospect, and that prospect needs very clear delineation. And you might already have it, but they really need to be deeply trained in its qualification so that it's validated. So in other words, this guy, can we call you in a year? And the guy says, yeah, if you go ahead and try. Well, that's not a prospect. And in fact,
that's not what he's supposed to ask.
I'm certain. Exactly. I'm certain of that. Right. But that's how frightening it is at that point. Now you really see why you're getting to points where, your ability to succeed when you get stuff, if it's done even a little bit less than the way it should be done, arrives at you a little bit less than it could be set up. You can see this already. Boom. First call. Right. So the idea is, if we have a list of names, to reference the person's name always, right? Josh, this is Danny Griffin calling from Griffin Realty Group, right? I'm calling you because, and a better reason than have you think about this? I'm calling you because I work for a local real estate team that has a shortage of listings and an overflow of buyers. Just something like that, because that would be accurate, right? I mean, especially in a market like this, there's a shortage of listings. So really what he could do is just state the obvious for the marketplace. So we're looking to see if any of your neighbors were thinking about selling. We don't even have to ask him, because we can come to him last. You don't happen to know about, or vice versa. You can test it both. We were wondering if you had any thoughts about selling your property inside the next 12 months. No, I don't. Everybody's been calling me. Oh, no problem. We're again such a shortage, but you don't happen to know if any of the neighbors were thinking about selling. So we have a couple of branches we can easily fix here, very easily. And it's just got to do with a better intro and a better why. Those two things. Take your time to intro yourself properly and get right to your why. I'm calling you because is a huge trigger word. Robert Cialdini's book Influence mentions the word because. That's why in the script here it is capitalized. It's a trigger. I'm calling you because they lean in a little bit. I work for a local real estate team and we have a massive shortage of listings and an overflow of buyers. So we were wondering if you ever had any thoughts of selling your property, right? Let them answer. No, a lot of people call me. I haven't. Okay. Not inside the next 12 months at all, correct? No. Okay. You don't happen to know any of your neighbors that were thinking about selling at all, do you? So there's a whole better way that he could be dealing with them. And then, come to this definitive close, it was there, or maybe they could reference another property. So we just end up with branches, right? The other thing is, if we were to add something beyond the real, that's the most global way that we could talk to somebody. Just that's really about the need for inventory, and it's a plead for the need for inventory, and it's honest. It's honest, and it's kind, and it's caring, and he still might get hung up on, but there's just more. There's more to it. That makes sense? Yeah. So I think, and you have that. So if you went onto the Teachable site on the side in conversion, that's where the scripts and prospecting mind map is. So just working from those first two beats against whatever it is he was supposed to do for you would be a good start for you and I next week. Okay. So let's go to the next. Let's go to the next one. Let's listen to this one.
Hi, Dennis.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, Dennis. My name is Matthew. I'm on a local real estate team, and I was just calling to see if you might be thinking of selling your house.
Well, we've got a couple houses already on the market, so I guess the answer to that would be yes.
Okay, so you have, a plan of selling, and when you sell your house, where are you planning on moving to?
What now?
Where are you planning on moving to after selling your house?
The houses we're selling are rentals.
Rental. Okay. Okay, so, yeah, I'll just let my team leader know so he can check in with you when you're closer to being ready selling your house, and when should he follow up with you, Dennis?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Right. See, I don't need to go any further. Oh my God is right. Now you know exactly why I said, get me these things ASAP. Because we get going so fast and we're solving other problems. We don't walk all the way back on the assembly line and say, what does the genesis of my business really sound like? Like, what does this really look like? So we have a crisis moment here that is easily fixable. That's the great news, right? But we can never assume that what we believe is happening is. And by the way, you're in good company because your referral, Duran, was in this, similar spot where Maxie and Russell had not really been given the particulars on this proper creation of a prospect. Now, their talent-wise, if Maxie and Russell are here today with some calls, I'll let you listen to two people in the Philippines that do extremely well verbally, right? And they've been crescendoing, but it was more like taking Duran, Maxie, and Russell, myself, and trying to say, guys, are we all on the same page? First of all, are we giving these people good information to call? I mean, this guy has, interestingly, a second one, there's something going on, and he finds nothing out about those other two properties. Follow me?
Yeah.
I get two properties on the market, and he just bails out. So I don't know how he gets compensated, but you can see very clearly that when he's attached to just a phone call and he gets these, and it's all about metrics. I got him, I talked to him, I got him, I talked to him, I got him, I talked. Whoa, did you create anything? And if you did, what did you create? And the idea is to create that better prospect for you so that if you listen to it, or your manager does, then there's a file that's attached to it. So great opportunity. Let's listen to one of the good ones, or at least what your manager thought was.
Hi, Michael.
Yeah.
Hi, Michael. My name is Casey. I'm on a local real estate team, and I was calling to see if you might be thinking of selling your house.
Not right this minute. I'm kind of upgrading the garage with some new lighting and insulation and stuff. So maybe next year.
Oh,
Or depending on how far I get, maybe late this year. The real estate market's better in the spring, so maybe next spring.
oh, okay. Maybe next spring you're planning to sell. I see. Great. Where are you planning on moving to?
Don't know at this point. My wife is kind of wanting someplace a little bit less wet and a little warmer. She has some friends in Arizona, and I don't know about that. That's a little too warm, but or we may just get a fifth wheel and live in a fifth wheel. We haven't really decided that yet.
Oh, okay, I understand. Michael, I see. So you're thinking for something less wet or not hot, but maybe in Arizona. I see. Okay. Well, how about this one, Michael? Well, it sounds like you do have a plan to sell, but not a little while yet. How about this?
Yeah,
do us this way. I'll go ahead and let my team leader know, and he can check in with you when you're closer to being ready. When should he follow up with you?
Oh, probably not until next March.
Oh, March of next year.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a nice day.
You bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What real estate was he with?
Oh,
All right, we're going to stop. We have a theme here. I don't need to listen to the next one. We have a theme that even though this is better, it's still not better, because it just doesn't, like all three of them, they just don't come to a conclusion that sets you up a database. All that time, all that money, all that energy just to get someone to pick up the phone, to actually have several of them have some interest, and to just say, oh, my team leader follow up. It's such a massive, like, globule of fat that can be sliced right out, right? That you can see it. That if we go in and we just tighten this up, and week to week to week to week, we just keep tightening, so that it's very clear what happens next, and where those people go in the database, and what we know about. And again, you learned a lot this week about, the script items that we learned as a group here. Gee, why were you thinking about selling in the first place? On a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to sell in March? All of a sudden, it would have some clarity to this call. The great news is they're actually diligently doing these massive amounts of calls, getting people on the phone, and they're hitting some sort of metric. Problem is, they're just dumping all of these people that are nebulous that now you have to spend time cleaning up, right? Make sense? Yeah, I'm excited for you that we found it, but I'm also empathetic to the pain you're feeling as you listen to it, because the variance between your professionalism and what we're listening to is dramatic, right? I already know you well. I know how white-knuckled professional you are, how smart you are. That's not your company. I know it's not. Follow?
Yeah. Danny, I was a few minutes late. Let me do what market is that in?
That's Portland, Oregon. Say hi to Josh. Josh is new to our mastermind group too. You'll be seeing him in the other part of the group. Right? Duran.
You're welcome.
Yep, that's Dean Miller. Okay, yeah, so Oregon. So Dean, as we said earlier, there's the Northwest forgiving patience of these people, right? So
and where's the telemarketer from? Is he from Portland or is he
Philippines?
Oh no, that's what I thought. I was having a hard time hearing. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I did say this, and I'll say this, obviously right in front of anybody that does not speak English as a first language. That's a challenge. I mean, I think Maxie and Russell do fabulously well. Russell has spent, time in the States, living here. It's important. You have to move through this fluidly too, because you have to be able to fully articulate these thoughts. And so both guys, I felt, struggled with the English. So that's problematic too. Yeah. I mean, again, it just is what it is.
Well, it was like you always talk about being athletic, and there was that's why I asked, because it seemed like the challenge was that whoever the person is, and I apologize, doesn't understand the concept of that. It's like, oh, it almost sounded like he was repeating himself while writing notes at one point.
He was.
Dude, come on, you got to move. You got to move a little bit.
Yeah, he was. He was trying to restate back to the guy what the guy had said, which is not a bad technique if you're moving through it. But both guys really sound like, that they're insecure with their English ability, to me. And so what that does is it brings this really slow staccato way of speaking, and it begins to disconnect them from the humanity of it. And again, because I think it's the Pacific Northwest, that there's some forgiveness at the type of person that they're calling into. There's patience, right? This would be a disaster, in New York, right?
Oh,
right?
That's about as understatement as you can get.
Exactly. And again, so the good news is you get away with it a little bit. The bad news is that's, if you knew Josh already, he's one of us. He's going to be all over this, I'm sure. Right? So. Yeah, good. Any thoughts there before I move on to the next person? I mean, anything you want to express other than the obvious stuff we just talked about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking a lot of responsibility for this, because the philosophy I have behind implementation of these guys is the sort of analogy of panning for gold.
Right.
Is, we have a very large geography and a huge volume of numbers, and I was trying to scale this up, and I wanted to make the recruiting process very nimble and scalable, so the quality, it suffers there. But basically, they're just in there to do jab, jab, punch, right? Get in, get out. And I know they're not building a relationship, but they're able to take from all of the millions of phone numbers we have, whoever looks like it's yellow, like it might resemble gold.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the whole point. Like they're not really there to build a relationship and do even a very good job, although I wish they would, and I want to improve that. But
well, here's what I would say. We don't even have to depart from what you want. We just need to make it super precise, that they say super precise things in that tiny amount of time, so they come out with a much clearer result for whomever is next. I don't think we're going to turn those types of people and that formula into this nurturing thing that a lot of the other telemarketers play that expanded role. I don't think like I said to you one-on-one, we don't have to depart, but man, we got to clean up what they're saying. Right?
Agreed.
Yeah. And again, and if it's they're just sort of going through filling out the blanks, let's just have better blanks for them to fill out and train them to death on those blanks. That's it. And then let's see where we go. Because, nobody says that you can't chop up the jobs on the assembly line differently than what one other team might have. But people are still going to have to go through each stage. So each stage has to be learned with precision, even if it's multiple people. But good job bringing that stuff here. And thanks to your manager. And, the good news is we're just going to get better in 7 days. Watch.
Can I throw out my experience with what he's thinking?
Yeah, go ahead. So,
Josh, I was on the same camp as you before. I had 10 virtual ISAs and did not monitor them that well. And, if you think about panning gold, even gold miners have processes in the ways they do things to get as much gold out of the dirt as they can. So I think you need to get on the phone with them at least once a week and listen to calls and coach them up, or have someone in charge of that. Otherwise, you're going to be surprised every week of the recordings, because they're not saying what you want them to say unless you coach them up.
Yeah, it takes time, but it's well worth it. It's a huge value added. By the way, that's Lee Stillwell, a fellow mastermind member in Bethesda, Maryland, just so you start to get to know the names, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, good. We're thrilled to have you, man, because I think we just talked in the mastermind. I know you and Jason Young, our two newest mastermind members, will begin to assimilate in the group calls. But we just spent a lot of time yesterday on the mastermind call talking about the nice strategy that the circle prospecting farming really can become. And so it's going to be a very big topic. So good timing for you.
Oh, awesome.
Yep. V. Allen Smith is up next from Dallas, Texas.
Well, Karen's up.
Yeah, well,
yes.
yeah, well, you too.
Good looking devil, man.
Exactly. He is the company mascot. All right, we put him out, the face man. Karen, we've got 3 here, so here we go. Let's listen to the first one.
Hello. Good afternoon. Is this Tracy? No, ma'am. Is Miguel home?
Miguel?
Hello? Yes?
Who's speaking? Why are you asking for Miguel?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't hear you.
I said, who is this?
My name is Karen, and I'm with Allen's Luxury Homes. And I was calling because I saw your beautiful home online and noticed that it didn't sell. So I'd like to send you something that will help you sell it next time. May I do that?
Who said it was for sale?
Do you have property for sale at 9810 Tanglevine Drive in Dallas?
No.
Okay. And this isn't Tracy or Miguel?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry to bother. Do you have...
Weird, bad info. Yeah,
That's not bad info. I mean, that number may be bad, but the Tracy and Miguel own a property at 9810 Tanglevine that was listed and expired.
Okay, good. So, but it's bad info because the lady's saying it's not hers and they don't have property for sale. So
is it not her, or is she just pretending it's not her?
Well, geez, I don't know.
I know.
I mean, I don't. If she's pretending it's not her, I mean, she didn't sound like she was pretending.
So it shows up. So if you look at the number that's there, they have it classified as Miguel's work number. So it is possible that it's Miguel's work number.
Yeah. So why don't you just go into Fast People Search and look for other numbers? Karen, did you do that? I mean, that's what, Autumn's big adjustment here. And Autumn, you can weigh in on this when this kind of thing happens to you. I'd love to hear from you right now. Autumn is the one that, taught me about this kind of stuff, with Fast People Search. So I want to make it very clear that, a successful telemarketer is resourceful in the moment. Go ahead, Autumn. Go ahead.
Well, what do you want me to answer?
Well, when that happens to you, what do you do?
Well, I don't think she was clear right in the front. I would have made sure.
Oh, Autumn's got that bad internet. It comes in and out sometimes. Autumn, we'll wait for you to come back there. I agree with what she's about to say. The beginning, I loved your recovery though, Karen. So I think when you realized, go ahead, Autumn, you back?
You just make sure it's their address. It's clearly a wrong number.
Yeah. And
if it's not a wrong number, then just make sure, do I have the right number for Miguel and Tracy, whoever?
Yep. Cool. But what resourcefully, would you go to Fast People Search? That's what I'm asking. What would you do next?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. So Alan, Karen, that's my point, is that she would be clear. And again, Karen, I thought your adjustment here with bad info was good. I thought you adjusted really well. Right? And you went there. But now, what did you do after that?
Who, me?
Karen.
Oh.
Karen.
Unmute.
She was unmuted, so Karen.
Karen! Where are you?
You're unmuted. Leave it. Yep, there you go. Go ahead, Karen. Hello?
Karen, just speak. If you just speak, we'll see if the mic's on. All right, you figure that out. I'm going to go to the next one. Let's keep moving here, because I think that's as easy as just getting a better number.
Good afternoon. Is this Ashley?
No, it isn't.
Hello? Oh, you're not Ashley? Okay. Is Craig there?
No, there's no one by that name or name, either one. So, who are you looking for?
I'm looking for Craig or Ashley. Do you own a home at 10223 Echo Ridge Court?
I do not.
No. Okay.
All right, and you got some bad data here, period. It doesn't happen twice, right?
So we have 4 to 5 numbers on these leads. And as she gets further down that list, they may not be. So I guess the question is, what do we do? You know, we can delete that out of Vulcan, eliminate that number.
No, not until I would go to Fast People Search and look up your own number. I mean, you've got an address. You open up MLS. You see that it's expired. We have to make sure that Vulcan is giving you the best data that they can.
And it is. That one has expired.
Okay, good, perfect. So what I would do is the third window I'd have open is Fast People Search. Just pop their names in there and see what comes up, and see if it's the same as on Vulcan. If there's a consistency that Fast People Search is giving you different, info than Vulcan, then I'd raise holy hell with Vulcan.
Just go to the next number. It's a wrong number. Just go to those numbers you have, Alan.
Yeah.
Have her go to the next number.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
obviously, if we know this one's not the right number, then she can delete it so that it doesn't dial it again.
Yeah. Well,
right.
Well, sure. But, just make sure there's a system to not lose these good leads, because here, if there's bad info and the people are hard to find, he or she who does the extra research might be the only person tracking them down. How about that?
Or let's say this, Alan, after she goes through the 4 or 5 numbers and she's not getting anywhere, that's when she goes to Fast People Search. That's how I do it.
Exactly.
I'm just a little quicker on the uptake with the wrong number, but she'll get there.
Yep. Good. All right, let's keep going. The third one. Here we go.
Hello. Good afternoon. Is Nicholas there?
I'm sorry, you have the wrong number.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Do you happen to have property for sale at 8146 San Fernando Way?
Oh, that's my daughter's father-in-law.
Oh.
Oh, that was a good catch right there.
I go move. Stop laughing.
Do you
Move.
happen to have a number where I might be able to reach them?
There you go.
Actually, I don't have their number.
His name is Nicholas, right?
Nicholas Foley. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have a number for him?
What's that?
And you don't have a number for him?
No, I don't.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I know where they live.
Too much time spent. Too much time spent here.
Yeah. Agreed. This has got to move faster. I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's the second cup of coffee starting to kick in or something, but there's a lot of wasted time here. So on the data, this is 3 calls in a row, okay, that there's bad data. I'm going to go with what Autumn said. Go down the list of all the numbers you have, call them all, okay? And I don't know, I don't hear you saying like it's my daughter-in-law's, father-in-law's. Do you have your daughter-in-law's number? Just go. If you can't go straight to the source, get the other people. But this has got to be much quicker and much more efficient, so we keep it going. It's not, the relationship will come by following these systems, so we just need to tighten this all up. But Alan, let's try a week of going down the list, going to Fast People Search, and if that doesn't work, then and I would still get on with Vulcan 7 and figure that out. Okay.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, and when she gets the verbiage out, it's a 10. I mean, it's good, really smooth.
She's going to get better, Alan.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, she'll get more efficient as she goes.
Yeah, it's really smooth when she goes through, clearly well-trained, clearly professional as a telemarketer. So there's a lot to be liked here. It's just all this other stuff. It's very similar to Josh's stuff. We got to get rid of all this other stuff and condense it down to super uber efficient, right? Even the laughing went on too long for me. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not trying to take the humanity out, but I think until we get that real tight base down, we can't allow for the extra stuff for relationship. Follow, Alan?
Yes.
Okay.
She's going to realize she's wasting her own time, and that's when she'll get moving.
Yep. Go ahead, Dean. What were you going to say?
The other thing I keep hearing a lot of, and maybe it's just me, but I'm getting awfully tired of hearing everybody apologize nonstop.
Yes, agreed. Agreed.
I'm sorry. Don't be sorry.
Totally agreed. And I think early on, we've noticed that in these calls. Anne was very guilty of that early on, right? And I'm going to play her stuff next, so it'll be good to see if it's there. For some reason, you all, when you're training, you get very apologetic. You've got to stop doing that. This is very much about authority, and these people are silently begging to be led by strength, not by weakness, okay? So stop apologizing. Just be direct. The nervous laughing, the tics, the word whiskers, the sooner you can get rid of it. And again, I know this call always sounds harsh, but this is how we get better. We become aware of that stuff and we get rid of it as fast as we can, okay? But definitely he's right. No shrinking violets in here. You're the boss on these calls. You're the boss. That doesn't mean you're obnoxious, prospects pursued, run away type of thing, but it just means this is your call. This is your formula that you're following, and you're there to get answers and specificity and get the best you can, right? We're not trying to make friends here. You'll make relationships where Autumn tells me all the time, they really like me. Well, that comes with time on the phone with them. If we're going back and forth and, we're following up, the relation, there's plenty of time for that. But what she does is she gets the answers first to make sure nobody's time is wasted. Then she goes into that relational thing, but always remembers if she doesn't get me in the building, then nothing's happening. All right, next one. Ann, you are up next. Then Maggie, be on deck. Okay, here we go, Ann.
Hello.
Hi, I was looking for Brian or Judy.
Speaking.
Hi, this is Ann with Paradigm Realty, and the reason I'm calling you is because I noticed your beautiful home in Murrieta online today, and that it hadn't sold. So I did want to send you a free packet of information that will help you sell it the next time. May I do that?
Sure, absolutely.
Beautiful.
Okay, great. And where did you want me to send it?
Probably
to the
435 Grace Lane.
Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, I'll put that in the mail to you. We'll put that in the mail within 24 hours and then check back next week. Make sure you received it. Nice speaking with you. And Brian, by the way, while I have you on the phone, why were you thinking about selling the property?
Well, we actually bought some property in Idaho.
Uh-huh.
About 10 acres.
Oh, I love
there.
Idaho. Wow, what city?
This is Eagle.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
but
Lori?
we still don't know if we're going. We're just kind of playing around a little bit, trying to figure out what our destination is going to be. We have family that have moved there, and so we've got another lot here on the street that we own, and I did the development here. I put in 4 custom lots.
Wow.
And, so we're trying to protect the neighborhood because it's in our best interest to do that because our neighbors are not only neighbors, but they're our dear friends. So we want to make sure that whoever we sell to is compatible with our...
All right. I have a critique here. I'm going to move on to the next one. Be more comfortable with silence.
Yeah.
There's a lot of word whiskers here. Uh-huh. Oh, hey. If we stripped out him and you heard yourself, it's coming very frequently. Just be more comfortable with silence. He's a very gentle man, right? Give him the stage. It's almost like you're off stage going, oh, hey, huh, right? I mean, again, to training here, just be more comfortable in the silence, right? It's about him. And this is the...
sounds like she's talking over him to me.
Totally agree, because he's so gentle that's what happens. Even though the word whiskers are relatively innocent, Anne, they are talking over him. And you're interrupting his gentle flow. He's like a stream, and you keep throwing boulders in the stream, right? Let him roll. Let him get there. He's telling you his story, which is the more he tells you about him uninterrupted, the more he's feeling safe with you, the more you're feeling connected to the story, and it's evolving better. Okay, so that's my critique on that one. But I loved your segue. Finally got very smooth. I mean, there's a couple.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah. There's a couple weird question marks at the end of stuff. Right? You know, again, bordering on what Dean said, and that was perfect, Dean, timing, because you can still almost hear the undertones of the apologetic Anne beginning to just fade away, right? You're getting there, but you still sound a little bit apologetic to me. So just keep evolving into more of authoritative. You're a gentle authoritative. I get that about you, but you get nervous. And in the beginning, it was rushing. Now it's word whiskering over him. Okay. So be comfortable in the silence. But I thought the segue was really good, right? Really good. I'd give it like a B plus because there was some work that could be done because of these question marks, but wonderful. I'll call it. And like, where do you want me to send it? Would you like me to send it to this address that I have? Right? Okay. Just go with the obvious and stay there. We don't want to, because here's why. It's so subtle because you're getting so good at this. It's so subtle. If you leave them to make decisions, they get confused. You lose the momentum. It's very subtle. So we're still effective, but we're trying to keep taking you to another level. But wonderful segue. Hey, by the way, while I have you, it just sounded so natural. I liked it a lot. Okay, so score there. That was good. Let's listen to the second one, and then we'll move on.
Hello. Hi, this is Anne with Realty. Is this Erica?
Yes.
Hi, Erica. I'm just giving you a call in regards to your beautiful home in Hemet online today on Foxtrot Circle. I noticed that it didn't sell, so I just wanted to follow up to you and send you some information that would. Free information that will help you out the next time. May I do that?
Yes.
Okay. So let me confirm.
All right, what's going on here? You don't sound as athletically ready as the last one. You're stumbling.
I'm not. I can't remember what was going on, but yeah, I definitely don't sound as athletically ready.
Yeah, because you're juxtaposing words and beats, and you're still getting it out because you're getting so used to it. But it's less than the other one. So you weren't ready for this call, right? You can hear it, right? You can hear it. So let's see where it goes.
Address. You want me to send it to the Foxtrot Circle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And while I have you on the line, why were you trying to sell it in the first place, Erica?
Oh, it paused. Don't know what happened there. Hang on.
Oh.
Hang on.
And then
hang on. I gotta
get back. To have you on the line, why were you trying to sell it in the first place, Erica?
I was trying to sell because like 2-3 years ago, I saw this property, but I saw it like alone. Empty, or how can I say this? And then, like 2 months ago, I saw it on sale, so that's why I wanted it to sell my house to buy that property. But they already got an offer, so. That's why I took it off from the market, because especially I wanted it that property.
Oh, I see. Okay, so but you still may want to sell this if you find something else, or?
Yes. If I find what I'm looking for, like I want land, for horses and.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So my broker's name is Adam, and he's really good. He's been in the industry over 20 years. So let me send you this packet of information, and then he can.
No need for that, right?
I know.
This is because you're just getting. This is what happens, though. This is a good call to analyze. You're just not ready for this, and you're making it up again, right? You got to be ready for these. You got to be ready that somebody's going to answer the phone, because there's no need for that. He's not important. We're still into her. You asked her a good question. So if you found another property, would you still be interested? I would. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how interested would you say you are? Get back to your safety. Because when you start doing this, you start babbling, right? And talking about him is babbling. I don't want Autumn or Kathy talking about me until I become relevant. And I'm not relevant yet. Wonderful. Let me get that information. But you don't know whether Adam's relevant because you didn't ask the questions, right? Beyond that. Geez, on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to still move? Just ask her a simple question like that. I'm a 6. I'm a 7.
I did get to
All right,
that.
let's see. All right, let's see. Well, it's
sell
way,
this one and possibly
way,
find another one.
way out of order.
How about that? Okay. Okay. Very good. I'll put this in the mail to you. So let me just ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to sell this house?
If I find what I'm looking for, like 10.
There you go.
Okay. Because I was going to ask you, I mean, if you wanted him to come out one day this week, I could have him come out.
Okay, enough of this one. Stop apologizing. See, Dean brings up a fabulous point at the right time. Here you are making this progression. This is called the snapback effect. In the new psycho-cybernetics, when we're stretching into this new thing, there's something called the snapback effect, right? So you have this steering system that you're training in your brain that's steering you very specifically in steps. You get unathletically ready. So what you're doing is, instead of going 1, 2, 3, you go 1, 3, 6, 4. It's all disjointed. You just made your life way tougher than it needed to be. The great news is the components are so effective in getting somebody to read their mind aloud. You're still getting there. But this could have been so efficient had you just stayed in the lines. So wherever you made this call from, it doesn't even sound like you were sitting at your command center where you're right there, right? Or if you were, you were distracted, or someone is in the room, or whatever. Anybody gets near you when you're making calls, tase them. Like, really, because this is a super hyper focused moment in time where we literally have inside of 120 seconds max when it goes fully out there. Okay. So the minute we're not athletic, the pressure comes in on us and it collapses down on us. You still get there. And you know me by now. Of course, I celebrated you in front of everybody today, so I'm thrilled. But it's not good enough because there's always better the next day. But beware, as you evolved up, you got those checks. The more dangerous thing is not the constant evolution, it's the snapback effect. To snap back to a lesser version of yourself, okay? And that's just what happened here. And the reason that snapback happened, you were not ready for this call. Right? Period. And this is
Don't you feel she missed the buy side opportunity as well?
Well, she's getting there. I mean, she's getting there. She's
getting there, but she should have jumped right on that.
Well, I think what she's doing is closing for him to go out and do it. Like, geez, listen, let me have him come over, take a look at this. Let's take a look at the house. He'll give you the tips on that, but he'll also meet with you and talk to you about the buy side and how you won't miss out. He's very good at getting stuff in this tough market. Sure, I'll bite on what you're saying. I just don't even think she can get there because she's so discombobulated and she's worried about bringing the call to us here, which is good. She's got that sense of accountability. I know what's going on with her. I've coached her long enough to know now. She's worried, oh, Danny's going to kill me if I don't say this. He's going to kill me if I don't say that. I know somewhere deep in her brain from training her, that's there. But what's painful for me to listen to is the snapback effect. So Lee, you're not wrong, but until she recognizes she's out of whack, she can't even get to the close, right? She can't get there because the buy side is the insight for Adam. She's making a listing call. We want the listing. But of course, he's right. The issue is the buy. And she's a 10 if Adam can solve the buy. Well, listening to you, what I'd like to do is have Adam come over. And you don't have to say, Adam's got 20 years. Who cares? Right? Okay. Who cares? Stop saying that. Stop saying that. It's irrelevant. It sounds so goofy and so juvenile for such a professional approach, right? We just don't need it. I know you probably did it in the car business or whatever it is. Come see Jimmy. Jimmy's been on the floor for 20 years. He sells more, Toyotas than everybody else. I get it. I get that it's in there somewhere, but you don't need it here, right? Just serve them. You do so well at serving it. Listen, what I think, it's a consultation of authority. Listen. what I think would really be helpful to you so that you don't keep missing out on things and getting stressed. Let me have Adam bring this package to you. And it'll also bring you the buy side plan that he customizes for his clients. He's helping a lot of people get through what you're struggling with right now. Could I set that up? Just close her like that with authority, because you know she's a 10. You know she needs him. You know you don't have to ask, right? Right. You know what's good for her. So go for it. And that's I think, thank you again to Dean for bringing this up, is that what happens when you get apologetic, you are not the best of service person you can be. Sometimes you got to grab the kid, right? Proverbially, because I have 5 of them, by the scruff of the neck and say, listen, you need to listen to me. This is good for you. And you're not even obligated. Isn't that great news? You know what I mean? I'm exaggerating the point to get somewhere in your psyche to give you permission to be authoritative. Right. I
was just going to say you lose control, which completely puts the authority in the hands of the person on the other side of the phone as well.
And if you leave them in charge, they have no sense of system.
Right?
None.
They don't know their script.
Exactly right. That's the irony, Ann. They have no script to go by. They don't know what they're doing. They're all emotional. They're like a gangly teenage kid. That's why I said grab them and hope. Shh. Hold on now. Hold on. I got something for you. It's going to be really good. And he's going to fix that problem, right? There's not a problem that we can't fix, okay? That should be your attitude. So let him in, because you're a 10. Got it? Good job. Good job. Maggie. Yes. Here we go, sister. Let's listen.
Hello, we are not available now.
Hello?
Hello, hi, Marilyn.
Yes?
Hi, Marilyn. My name is Maggie, and I'm calling with Prodigy Group of Remax. I don't mean to take too much of your time. I just wanted to call and tell you the great news. We just sold 16473 Canelones Drive in Hacienda Heights for $50K over the asking price. And there's a high demand for homes in the area, and we ended up with a lot of overflow buyers. So I'm calling to see if you may be interested in selling now or in the near future.
No, honey, we're not.
Okay, Marilyn, thank you so much. Enjoy your day.
Okay. All right, good. This is an easy one to do. Not bad. You're actually making the offer right. It sounds a little bit like you're reading it, but that thing in the beginning, like, you don't have to sound so corny. I'm calling you with the great news, right? Don't do that. That's corny.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do that. That's corny, because what you said was so perfectly delivered and clear. Now, one opportunity you missed. Do you happen to know any of the neighbors that are thinking about moving, right? But see, I think the reason she's dismissive, and again, we go to California, it's less forgiving than, say, Portland or wherever, right? So the idea is you gotta just sound more authoritative, okay? Don't sound corny, don't sound salesy, because what you're saying is good. Hey, just want to let you know, we just sold the house down the street. We ended up getting, $50K over the asking price. How much? 50K over the asking price doesn't mean anything. We got 1.50, which was $50,000 above what we were asking for it. And we had an overflow of buyers. So we're trying to match them up with other houses in the neighborhood. I would even say maybe the soft sell is you don't happen to know if any of your neighbors are thinking about selling, do you? No, I don't know. You didn't happen to be thinking about selling yourself, did you? No. Good. Okay, done. Right? See what I'm saying? So yeah. This isn't bad, but one thing we want to squeeze all the juice out of the lemon that we can. So ask about the neighbors. Otherwise, just get rid of the stuff in the beginning, okay? Let's just listen to it one more time so you hear it.
Hello, we are not available now.
Hello?
Hello, hi, Marilyn.
Yes?
Hi, Marilyn. My name is Maggie, and I'm calling with Prodigy Group of Remax. I don't mean to take too much of your time.
That right there line has to go. Don't ever say that again.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about here today with apologetics, okay? Don't do that. Okay. That's not in the script, is it?
No.
So it's a nervous thing, right? It's called a word whisker. Be comfortable with your nice pace here. You have a nice pace. You have an upbeat tone. All the things I like about you, right? but there's no need for those words.
I just wanted to call and tell you the great news. We just sold 16473 Canelones Drive in Hacienda Heights for $50K over the asking price.
Okay, see those couple of things?
Yeah.
So just make sure you give them the real price. Is this house near this lady?
Well, the list that they gave me is basically everything near that property that they sold.
Okay, cool.
So yes.
Okay, cool. Maggie, this is a good job. Like, I like the way you deliver the, you know, what's in it for them. You're sticking to the script. So just like Karen, you know, as you're tightening all this up, the good news is you're getting the core offer down. I thought it was good. Right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Just make more of them. Let me hear more than one recording next week, okay?
Of course.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
No
Good job.
Thanks.
Sarah Corey, Sarah Van, ladies, hot seat.
Hello, hello.
How you doing,
I'm
SB?
here.
All right, ladies, here we go. I got 2 from you, separate emails. Let's listen.
Morning, Sarah speaking.
Hi, good morning. I just missed your call.
Who's speaking?
It's Ali.
Oh, yes, Ali. I'm calling from Metro City Property Group with Jeroma Construction.
Yes.
We had chatted back in February. Yeah, it's some information about the project. We are completely sold out on phase 1. Phase 2 is still finalizing. We're still waiting for we've just been kind of on the fence waiting for the builder to make a decision on what he's going to put out, what the costs are going to be, just because so much has changed in terms of the cost of material and labor and things like that. So it's a bit of a delay. So yeah, I just wanted to reach out and see how things are on your end. I know that you've been looking at the property matches.
I have, and I'll honestly say how detailed it is amazing. Just to get some like how the sold properties and have an insight there. I think for us right now, we're a little bit like we're definitely paying close attention day to day.
Okay.
But what our challenge is right now is the new stress test that's been in place. I believe the rules have changed a little bit. Like instead of 4 times our salary, it's about 6 now. So we're working out those numbers with our bank right now again. But absolutely, like we're really close. We're paying attention and we're keeping in the loop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. Let me email you. Are you guys living in Ottawa now?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to mail you our buyer plan. It's the exact plan that we customized to help you find the best deal. It's just a nice read to kind of prepare what's happening. Can I mail that over to you?
Can you do it by mail, like email?
It's a flip book.
It's a flip book. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's an actual like print, like it's an actual booklet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your address?
It's 209.
Okay.
And I'll spell it out for you. It's SHERWAY.
All right, good. Let's grab this one. I love that right there. You did not let the tail wag the dog, and I want everybody to hear that she did not do that. Okay? Got it?
Got it.
Yeah, that's just a good job she does there. She, you know, this whole, can you email it? Oh, sure. That's that apologetic, right? She does not do that. Look, it's a flip book. And he actually is like, holy crap, basically, right? Really? People don't expect much of anything from people. And so, you know, their standards for their perception of what they're getting from you, they don't think it's much. Well, this is actually a pretty, you know, thick booklet of information that will really help you. So it's best to mail it. She doesn't apologize. She does it. She closes it. This is good, SV. I like, not much to say here. I just love, I love your voice too. You talk so quickly, but you're so clear. Love it. Go take the next one. Yeah. Well, it's okay. You're getting better at breaking it down into pieces that are digestible. I think in the past, you would just get going downhill so fast that it was tough keeping with you. But even though you're a fast talker, you're pausing in the right spots. It's almost like an actress knowing when to breathe, knowing when to let the other person in, which is exactly what Anne, you know, I was trying to teach her to do there. See, it doesn't matter how slowly or quickly we talk, as long as we allow that tennis ball to be on their side for as long as is reasonable. I'm not going to say for as long as they want to hold it, because you might have to step in and interrupt somebody when they're getting way off. But this is a very good example of tennis, right? Very good. Very good. That call's great. And more importantly, you get the package out. You know, I like in the beginning, you don't get all flustered. You say, oh, who's speaking, please? Right? And he tells you, and oh, right. Sounds like old friends. Really, really, really professional call here. I like it a lot. Like it a lot. So next one.
Hello?
Hi, I'm looking for Willie.
Yes, this is she.
Hello, Willie. My name is Sarah. I'm calling from GreaterOttawaHomes.com, the search site you signed up.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to reach out to see if there was anything that I can adjust in the property alerts, because I see that you were looking in Rockland. Was that the neighborhood that you wanted to focus on?
Yes.
Okay. Where in Ottawa are you now?
I'm in Orleans.
You're in Orleans. Okay. I mean, I see that you have been looking at some really cute places. Why are you thinking of moving?
Okay, good. Just here's where it's a little rushed. Finish that service beat. You were doing so nicely, right? And because it is an inbound internet lead buy side, let's just tighten up the price range. It's this area, bedrooms, baths, in this price range. That's all. Just get that, right? SV? Hello.
Hello?
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think a lot of times I try to get too much into conversation and I forget to just get to the point.
Yeah,
so that's definitely something I'm working on.
Well, what it is, Sarah, it's the snapback effect for you too. When we snap back, we go to pretty much where we used to be comfortable. Even though it's not the best version of ourselves, it's an irony, isn't it? We go back to a lesser version of ourselves. So always slow. If you're going to artificially slow your brain down, make sure you finish that beat of service. She loved the intro. She was surprised that there was service involved with this. Did you hear her? Sarah? I keep losing you there. Is it me or is it just Sarah? Anybody? Somebody tell me they hear me?
She's having some technical difficulties. She is here.
Oh, Jada comes to her rescue. I like that. Sisters.
They're in the same space.
Yeah. Sisters in Jada just keep flying in with her cape to save you. I like it. That was good. All right. So you see what I'm saying though, SV?
Okay, we're here.
Slow that down. Finish that beat. Hey, your intro is so delicious, so connective, which is your strength to connect. You just have that really engaging voice. But you rush the business end of it. Follow me? Uh-oh. We got, is that Dean spinning discs back there? Huh? Still well. I think Dean just came out of his DJ booth.
Not this time. I'll get there one day.
All right. So anyway, that's SB. What I would say is that it just finish that beat, because you just get it. You go from so authentic to so artificially about you too quickly. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you. Yeah, you guys will get a little echo. Let me listen to it again with you. Here we go. Let's try this again. I'll comment as it goes along.
Hello?
Hi, looking for Willie.
Yes, this is she.
Hello, Willie. My name is Sarah. I'm calling from GreaterOttawaHomes.com.
Nice and slow.
You signed up.
Oh, hi.
See,
how are you?
She's pleasantly surprised.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to reach out to see if there was anything that I can adjust in the property alerts, because I see that you were looking in Rockland. Was that the neighborhood that you wanted to focus on?
Yes.
Okay. Where in Ottawa are you now?
I'm in Orleans.
You're in Orleans. Okay. I mean, I see that you have been looking at some really cute places. Why are you thinking of moving?
Well, I'm thinking of moving because I'm getting married in July.
Congrats. That's exciting.
I didn't see if they were looking for something.
Starter home. Okay. Are you guys first-time home buyers or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you guys to
Nice and
make a move right
slow.
now?
How motivated are we to make a move?
Yeah.
Like 10 out of 10.
Beautiful.
10 out of 10? Now, have you had a chance then
to speak to anybody, a lender, to get you a pre-approval letter yet? Are you guys paying in cash?
Well, because right now we're working with a mortgage broker, so we're just trying to get all our papers together so that we can finish or start the application.
Okay. Okay. Now, did they give you any rough numbers to kind of give you an idea of where a ballpark where you can start looking?
A rough number?
Yeah. Usually, once you have a conversation with the lender and you talk about what your income is, if there's any debt, things like that. Usually, they can come up with a rough number.
Okay. We haven't.
Purchase price.
Oh, okay. Did you guys have an idea? Because I see here.
Okay. See, all this could have been dealt with had you asked her up front. Follow me?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's exactly what happens, is that the very beginning, if you had just asked her, what price range are you in? We wouldn't have to do all of this. That's exactly why I said, slow down in the beginning, right?
Okay.
Yeah, because if you slow down the beginning, you find out so what price range are we looking at? Well, the lender, you might have gotten the answer way back then. Follow me? But when we don't finish that fulfillment of what they're looking at, I mean, she has some indication, and now she's confused because I think SV, you're trying to do too much now. Sometimes when they look at debt and they look at this, that's not your job. That's the lender's job. You know what I mean? Just say, sometimes when you get started early with the lender, they give you a price range that you're comfortable purchasing. Have you gotten that far yet? See what I mean? Less is more. Less is more. Don't get too talky in here. Okay? Let's listen.
From what you're looking at, the ballpark is starting at about 250 to 845, which is, quite large. Did you guys have an idea of what your budget might be?
Yeah, we're looking at 400.
Okay, so 400. Okay. And is it just you going on title? You and your partner?
Me and my husband.
Okay. And combined then as an income together, are you guys making above 90?
Okay, where are we going here?
We were just doing a little bit of quick math so that we can get an idea of where that kind of ballpark might be. So yeah, it does take me a bit longer to get there, but we do land on her expectation of 400K being a budget, matches up with what her actual income is minus a bit of debt that she does have.
I just don't feel like this is your job. Why are you feeling like this is your job?
A lot of times when I do speak with first-time home buyers or people that don't really understand the financing part, I find when I do that little bit of quick math with them or give them a little bit of information on how to get there, it does set an expectation for me to know what avenue to take with them. A lot of times people do really appreciate doing that little bit of quick math because some don't understand. They just assume, oh, well, I've got a full-time job. And
yeah, I get it. But let me play devil's advocate or dissenter. Okay. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Your job is to find out what you already found out, that they're a 10, that they're talking to the lender. Who's the lender? Right? Who's the lender? Why didn't you ask that? Do you need a second opinion? Right? That type of thing. Because we're trying to corral them into your barn. You're not the lender. And those are lender questions. I'm not saying that they're not good questions, but it's just too much. I'm just hearing all this fat. It's like, where's the system here? Right? What conclusion will you come to? Let's listen.
Above 90 a year?
Yeah.
We make, I'm really bad with math. Hold on.
That's okay. It's okay.
We both work at a retirement home, and we make 21 an hour, and we work full time. So.
Okay, so let's do some quick math. Do you have some time?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say we do 21 an hour. So 21 times 8 hours times. Wait, maybe I'm. Oh my gosh.
See what I mean?
So wait, 21 an hour times 8. Yeah, we go to the whole quick math.
Okay. All right, let's stop. Let's stop. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to crash into it. I don't like this. I just don't see the benefit in this at all. I mean, I'm not saying that there isn't, but it's not your job. We have to call all these people throughout the day. And just the fact that she's talking to a lender, find out who the lender is. Okay. Find out like what, just tell me, let's cut to the chase. What are you going to close her for? She's a 10. Tell me what you're going to close her for.
Oh, we booked a Zoom appointment for her to speak with one of our buyer agents.
Okay. Why did it take so long? You see my point?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
You could have done that 2 minutes and been on to the next call. You're that good. She's a 10. I'm a 10. I'm a 10. I'm a 10. Well, it was like an amen. Close. Stop doing all these other jobs, because what happens over the course of a day, a week, a month, a quarter, a year, is that we're stretching, we're expanding all of this stuff that is not relevant. Let the buyer agent determine that, relationship with the lender is real or not. Let them do that. Your job is to qualify an appointment, get it set up, book a good appointment the best you can. You could have done that in a fraction of the time, right? You could have.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And my gosh, all these people in Canada, in the West Coast, man, do you get away with something that we would get slapped on in the East Coast? We just wouldn't have this kind of time. We couldn't get away with it. So do your job because you're so good at it, not the lender's job, not the OSA's job, please.
Okay.
All right. And let's get me some examples of some more efficient stuff. Okay. And let's listen to it when it's tighter. Well, here's why. You're going to make a lot more money if you do. You just are. You're so good at this. If you will just stick to a system all the time. And by the way, 5 gold stars for slowing down. You're very slow and meticulous in these. So you've mastered that. Just beware of the snapback effect. But man, do you slow it down? And can I understand everything you say? And you're so upbeat. But you like relationships so much, you're trying to do too much of it outside your lane. Not that you're not capable, right? But if you want to be a lender, go be a lender. If you want to be an outside sales agent, go be an outside sales agent. You follow me? I happen to think you are an incredibly good inside sales agent. So we just need to get rid of fat and you can do even more. Yeah?
Yeah, that's fair.
Cool. Good job though. You're just so good at it. Really. Jada, where are my calls?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hiding from me, girl. Come on now. You're in the hot seat next week. You two up first. All right, listen, final questions. Any thoughts from today? Good job, everybody. Yep. Go ahead, Paul.
Okay, this is a little bit unrelated, so if it needs to be a separate call between the two of us, that's fine. I'm having my first in-person office meeting with as many staff as are comfortable meeting today.
Yep.
And the topic, or one of many topics is going to be the fact that we have less than 1 month's inventory here.
Yep.
Working with buyers is almost impossible because everything's going for 25-30% over market. So, I have Sam. She's kick-ass. She's sitting right next to me, 10 feet away. She uses Vulcan to call expireds. What do we do? Do we just have the agents call manually out of the MLS other expireds? I'm not a big fan of circle prospecting, but I guess.
Well, you might not be a fan of it, but it's going to become a necessity for all of us. We talked about that on yesterday's call. It's going to become a necessity. We're going to have to.
I missed the majority of yesterday's call, but I do know the gist of it because I talked to Sonia.
Yeah. It was there's no gist. It's going to be circle prospecting is going to become a necessity because we need inventory. And so when the inventory of certain outbound calls like expireds, probates, FSBOs, if they can exhaust all of those, then I'd be looking at those. But in general, if they just take that, area and they look at it and they call into it, I think we learned from the very beginning of the call today with Josh's people, it needs to be a good script. Hey, it's Danny Griffin calling from Griffin Realty Group. The reason I'm calling is because, XYZ just sold and we had multiple buyers that were interested and we couldn't get to it. Just wondered if you know any of the neighbors that are thinking about selling. You don't have to be thinking about selling and just go down the list.
Okay, second quick question. I know we're running late, so I don't want to keep you. Would you invest more time in that, or would you, because you've been in the business like me, 21, 22 years, or would you give these guys a handful of past clients? We both have over 500, 600, and say, let's call these guys and see if they know anybody. Send them some, send them little things. Da 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 da.
I think every resource. Yeah, I think every resource that you can make a call to, okay, an outbound call to, as long as you have something of value to say to them, and it's not just an ask. I think every list you have is fair game.
It wouldn't be an ask. It'd be just like, thanking them for their past.
No, that's not. That's it. Yeah, that's an ask. I mean, hey, Danny, it's Paul Cantu calling from Cantu Group. Just want to check on you, see how everybody was, how things are going, and let you know, man, this market's hot, and there's a super big shortage of inventory, right? So we need your help. You can ask for the help after you talk about the market. Just want to let you know how the market's doing, right? We're down to 1 month. That's a give. That's a give. It's the market update. Give information from the market update to any list and then ask.
What about the extra gift of like, hey, just by the way, why don't I just send you we have a new hockey team that's going to start. Why don't I send you a Kraken, it's called the Seattle Kraken.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for your time. I'm going to send you a Kraken COVID mask just for taking the time. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I just think it's just a thank you courtesy at the end. And then it puts you in front of them. But I think, Paul, we're going to have to be resourceful until this thing corrects, which it will. It will.
Bad. We have like 0.8 months.
I know. I got it. And it's the same everywhere. It's thin pickings, so we're going to have to be resourceful. But the other shoe will drop because it doesn't continue, as you know, after 21 years. It doesn't continue. Sharpen up the pen.
It does suck every 4 or 5 years.
Yep. Got it. No doubt about it. All right, listen, everybody, let's call it a day. Good job, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Go out and practice this stuff. Bring us some more anecdotes next week, and we'll keep slogging, like Paul just said. We got to slog through the tough times. Although they're good times, they're tough times. So keep slogging.